Yeah, what's going on with y'all boys, man? CJ back with another video. So look, I'm just running rec with randoms, what I've been doing for the past few days. So in this video, I'm just going to talk about, what builds you could use playing with randoms, things you could do while playing randoms, just to make the experience slightly better, because I know you come across some tweaked teammates. Also, I just got some clips, still showing what this build could do. It's the 6'9" slasher that I made. So this video is just going to be a mix of me telling you about the build still. It's the 6'9" pure slasher that I've been using. So I'm going to just tell y'all about the build, like the defense, everything, just everything about the build, what builds you could use playing with randoms, because I know it's tough out there playing with these randoms. I know what it's like. Most of the time I'm playing by myself, I'm running with randoms. I'll do most of these videos me just playing alone, just trying to get content. It's tough trying to be a content creator and you playing with randoms, because you can't just go and do whatever, and not everybody has the luxury of having people to play with and you just kind of being able to do whatever you want. So but me playing with randoms, it's tough, but I'm still able to get some good games. Like this one was pretty good. I didn't score that much, but overall I had a good game. All right, so to get into the topic of what builds you should be making while playing with randoms, right? If you play by yourself and you playing rec, it's different for park. It all depends on what you playing, but we're just gonna talk about rec right now because I play a lot of rec. I enjoy playing rec. So if you playing rec, I would only suggest that you make one of two builds at one of these two positions. You making, and I'll do a video on this too, like just showing y'all the builds, but y'all can already use the builds I have. One of them just pretty simple. It's not like super complex or whatever, but the one position is point guard. But if you're making a point guard, you can make something like this. I have a video on this too. I'll put in the description showing you how to make this build. And the build that I did a video on, it can shoot too. This one can't shoot. The one that I'm gonna put in the description, that one can shoot. It's literally the same build, basically all the same stats. The only difference is that this one can shoot. And the reason why I say you want to pass and actually be a point guard is because if you a good point guard, you playing with randoms and they see you passing the ball. Now this isn't the case every time, but for the most part, if you being a good point guard, they see you passing the ball, you playing right. One, not only is that giving your team a better chance of winning, you coming out there with a better mindset of trying to get everybody involved, just getting the open shot. That's already helping your team get closer to winning that game. And then on top of that, your teammates might start passing the ball. That's not a guarantee, but in my experience, it happens. Another thing too, the main thing really, like you could play with any build. One of the main things I suggest you do while playing rec is when you're in that little pregame lobby, when you loading up, make sure you look at your team stats, your team's like teammate grade or whatever. You know how there's like the pro grade or whatever, there's pro hooper, then there's like the go tier, I forget what that's called, then there's GOAT, right? So make sure you looking at, what I do is I look at that and I look at their overall. And the level, I really don't care too much about the level. I just look at their overall, right? So if they seem like they good, you got a decent squad, then it's like, all right, I'll stay. But if I'm sitting in that lobby and I see like a 88 or 90's cool, but if I see like some of them lower ratings come in and they got like the little bronze tier or whatever, I'm most likely not gonna play with them. They're most likely, I mainly pay attention to like their teammate grade or whatever. I forget what it's called, but like how there's the pro hooper and stuff. I was just saying, I mainly pay attention to that because that's gonna tell you like how much they win, how much they be playing. So I mainly pay attention to that. But yeah, like I was saying, so if you're gonna make a point guard, at least make sure you pass the ball. Now if you're a point guard, I'll make a build that's good at defense, maybe even throw rebounding on there, because rebound, that's like the number one thing. If you're playing rec, that's gonna bring your grade up if you're able to get a lot of rebounds, stuff like that. So I would literally just make a point guard that can grab boards, just basically do it all. Like this build right here, I can't shoot and I have no issues, honestly. The only time that I have an issue is if my center is just sitting in the paint, or if my teammates are just sitting, just for whatever reason, they just in the paint all the time. That's the only time. And from my experience playing on this build, like I really don't have issues getting in the paint and scoring. When you drive, when you driving in on this build, if it's a one-on-one, most of the time you scoring. You got a 99 drive and dunk, your layup super high. So if it's a one-on-one going to the paint, most of the time you scoring. One thing about randoms is they always want to play help defense. That center on the other team, he's always going to try to come play help defense. So if you playing with teammates that's not always in the paint, kick it out. There's always going to be help defense, especially if you're scoring a lot too. So that's why I say, just pay attention, get the ball to your open teammates, make sure you can create your own shot. Really, that's all. It's just being able to get your own bucket, right? When you're the point guard, most of the time you get the ball because they got you at point guard position. You get the ball, you get to come down the court, make that first pass to whoever's open, or decide to score and be aggressive, do whatever. But you're kind of more in control as the point guard because the ball's in your hand most of the time, so you're kind of more in control of the game. Yeah, you do get teammates that are gonna tweak. I know it sucks, but for the most part, that's why I say just run point guard. bring a build that can run point. And to make sure that they put you at that point guard spot, you want to have your pass accuracy a little high. Like you see, I'm 6'9", my ball control is 85, and my pass accuracy is 85. So every game they put me at point guard. Out of all the games that I played on this build so far, it's only been about one time that they put me at the 2 spot. Yeah, so just to kind of recap what I was saying, just make a point guard, make sure you could pass, create your own shot, play defense, and you straight. And as far as center, this is the absolute easiest one playing rec with randoms. You make a center, make sure you can grab your rebounds, protect the paint. That's gonna boost your teammate grade super easy. Every game you should be getting like an A+. Grab rebounds, throw the ball up the court, play defense. As far as the offensive end, you kind of do whatever you want in that aspect. I think it's always great when you have a spot up center, a center that can shoot, and obviously, you know, finish in the paint if you like that. But I'll say make sure, I think the most important part playing with randoms is just be able to shoot, so that way you're out of the paint, creating so much more space for your team. I know it's boring to just be a center and sit there in the corner the whole time. You know, you want to grab them rebounds in the paint. I'll say it's a lot more beneficial to your team and being able to win if you just a big that could sit corner wherever, you know, make your cut sometimes, set screens, whatever. But it's a lot more beneficial if you could hit them threes, because now you space up the floor so much. Because a lot of randoms you play, almost everybody this year can shoot. I really don't come across a lot of centers that don't shoot the ball, but that helps your team out a lot, being able to hit that three. You space the floor. Now your teammates that want to run in the paint and dunk or whatever, they got the paint. There's no big man just chilling in the paint every time. So now you spacing the floor. Hopefully you get a point guard that's going to hit you. But even then, that's the good thing about being a defensive center, is even if they ain't going to hit you, even if you ain't scoring a lot, your rebounds and all that's going to give you so much XP. Easy to level up off that, so it's never really a problem. You being able to protect the rim. Defense has a huge impact this year. I also do like another center, like undersized center build or whatever that can still get them steals. Because 6'7" is cool, I can still grab boards, but sometimes you get matched up against a huge center and he's going to back you down. But if you're nice, like, you're still capable of using that 6'7" center. But I'll say another one undersized is like 6'9". That way, you know, you get steals, so now you're just playing defense everywhere. And I'm telling you, like, defense really has that much of an impact, especially playing with randoms. Like, that 6'7" alone, I won a lot of games off of just because of that player. Like, playing with randoms, the defense on that build has so much to do with me winning some of those games, just because I could walk up to somebody, steal the ball. Like, it does a lot for your team being able to play defense like that, especially being in the pass lanes. Like, it does a lot. If you a center, like, you can go traditional big size center or whatever, grab your rebounds, or you can go a little bit smaller, like 6'9", get your 95, or I think, no, 6'9" caps out at a 90. 85 still really good for playing passing lanes. So you can be like a 6'9" center with an 85 still, have your rebounding up, rim protecting, all, you have your block up, and you straight. You still grabbing your boards. Now you're able to get steals and stuff like that. You know, play passing lanes, you quicker. You can just kind of do it all. Now I know I'm kind of ranting here, and I ain't really mean for this video to be this long, but I'm just trying to help y'all out, give y'all my opinions on the game and stuff like that, like my personal experiences. So I'll also do another video too. I'll do a video where I show different types of builds you could bring into the rec if you play with randoms. Because like I said, there's different types of standard builds you can use. The point guard, that's more like personal preference, as long as you can pass the ball, stuff like that. As far as the center build, like I was saying, I go two different types of centers. Either, you know, your traditional big man that could, you know, spot up, definitely grab boards and protect the paint, or you can go undersized where you're able to do everything. You know, basically you can make this build right here at center. Just obviously change up some of the stats. You know, you get 90 steal or whatever. Just have your defense to where you're an all-around defender, so you're able to play passing lanes, you're able to protect the paint, grab boards, kind of do everything on defense. Because I said, being that type of defender to where you got speed, you can move, you can protect the paint and do all that, it's really helpful. So like, you could just remake this build and take the playmaking off the build and just put your shooting, your defense, and finishing. That's it, and you cool at center spot. That way you protecting the paint, like I said, you protecting paint, grabbing boards, throw the ball to the court, everything like that. Defense really has a huge impact, especially if you're playing with randoms. And the other team too, most of the time they're randoms, their offense isn't organized, so it's easy to play passing lanes and get steals and stuff like that. Another thing I want to talk about too is what you should have your attributes at, right? And then this is all from my personal experience, right? So I have a build with the 99 steal, and then I have this build with the 86 steal. I think the 86 is still really good. I didn't think I was going to be able to get on ball steals like that because I wasn't sure. I know the 99 was crazy, but I wasn't sure what the 86 and stuff like that was. With the 86 steal, you're still able to easily play passing lanes, especially being 6'9". Super easy to play passing lanes, and it's easy to get on ball steals. Like, if you in the right position with the 85 steal and you have glove on silver, you're going to get the pluck steal. Like, you've probably seen it a few times in this video where I got the pluck steal on somebody. Like, if you really in good good position and the ball's in your face, pause. But if you reach with 85 still, you're gonna get that. So I think 85 is really good. Like, you don't have to really go that 90, 95, 99, whatever. Like, if you're trying to sacrifice some attribute points, whatever, you need something a little lower. 85 is cool. So I'll say this, right? If you're making a build, these are my basically minimum requirements for certain things, or not really minimum, but my personal experience, what I'll put it at. So my steal, right, if I want to be a lock, I want to get on ball steals, I'm going 85. As far as blocks, if you like 6'9" or a taller build, 80 is fine. 80 is cool. You still get a lot of blocks. For the most part, I usually go like 87, 88 for Hall of Fame chase down if you want that. And then there's a 93. I really don't think the 93 is really like that important, even for like protecting the rim. I'll say like 88, 87 is cool. But even on this build right here, I'm 6'9", and even when my block was at like an 85 or whatever, 80, something like that, I was still able to get blocks. Like, I was still getting really nice animations, getting blocks. Mind you, like, some of these games I didn't even have the anchor badge on either, and I'm still getting blocks. So I'll say, like, for me, I'll probably always go that 88 just to have the anchor silver and chase down Hall of Fame. But if you wanted to sacrifice that, I would go 80. Like, 80 still fine, especially at a taller height. You still fine with that. As far as drive and dunk, I'm either going 80 or I'm going for those elite contact dunks. Like, I really like getting elite contact dunks. I like having that. So me personally, most of my builds, I'm gonna go with the 93 drive and dunk. I don't really think the 99 dunk is really all that worth it, but I'll go either 80 or 93. That's me personally. I'm not saying like that's the best, but that's just from my personal experience, what I like to have on these builds. Maybe my answer will change the more builds I make. Like I said, the drive and dunk, I'm usually going 93 or 80. For drive and layup, my bare minimum is always 80 because you get those layup packages. So most of the time, I'm always going 80. I never really go above that. So like I said, 80 drive and layups, cool. As far as rebounding, I'm going like 85. Like, you don't really gotta have the rebounding that high. So 85 is cool. If you wanna have like box out gold and stuff like that, I think 90 you get box out gold or somewhere around there. So 90 rebound, or if you wanna have rebound chase of gold, 93. Like, if you really focus on rebounds, then yeah, go ahead and put your rebounding up to a 93. But even like I said on this build, as a point guard, my rebound is like 85 right now or something. Actually, not even that high. For a minute, it was at 80, and there was a lot of times, especially in park. Now rec, it's obviously different. If you in the rec with a big man, like, it's a lot of bigs in the paint, their rebounds are a lot higher. So if you're really trying to like really snag like that, I'll say go with a 93. In my experience with this build, even with like an 80 rebound, there's a lot of times where I'll come down the paint and grab rebounds over other bigs. Like, as a point guard, the 6'9" point guard, I'll come down and grab a rebound because your vertical also plays into that. And that's another thing. That's the next attribute I'll talk about. Vertical, I always go 82. I never go higher, never go lower, unless of course the drive and dunk for the elite contact dunks, you need an 82. Like I said, I always go for the elite contact dunks. So me, I always go 82. I'll go 82 or like 75. And as far as speed on a tall build, for speed with ball, I'll do something like 75. Ball control, I'll go like 80, 85. It kind of depends on like what animations you're trying to get. 75 to 80 to 85 is good for ball control. Speed, I'll go like, it depends on what you're trying to play, right? But as a center, I'll do something like 70, 75. Those speeds are still good. Like 75 still a good speed. Acceleration, I'll put that a little bit higher to like 80. Acceleration is like your first 4 steps. I always, out of those 3, I usually always have my acceleration a little bit higher. But on this build right here, my acceleration speed is 80, and then my speed with ball is 75. So those is pretty good. Like 80, 75, somewhere around there is pretty good. It's just personal preference, really, like what you want to put. All right, so now I'm gonna start talking about this build right here that I'm using. So as far as defense, overall, the defense is really good. I'm able to guard ball. I'm able to get chase down blocks. I get chase down Hall of Fame. I'm able to protect the rim. I even get snatch blocks on this build. Like, there's times where I'm getting snatch blocks. So the defense is good. The rebound is good. I can grab boards. Passing lanes is really good. I don't even use the interceptor badge. And my steals are 85 on this build right now. It goes to a 90. It's an 85 right now. And like I said, I get a lot of pluck steals. I play pass lanes really well. Like, it gives me animations too. It's not like I'm just getting bump steals. Like, I get pluck animations. Like, you've probably seen a few in this game already. As far as playing passing lanes, like, I'm able to get those animations where I just kind of grab the ball out the air. So the defense is good. As far as handling the ball, I have no issues. I have no issues with the build. Like, it does everything I want to do. As far as slashing, the slashing is really good. Like, you see the quick drops off one is super overpowered on this build. Once I get takeover, that's when I start using my dunk meter. I start getting super easy contact dunks. Hop steps actually work in this game if you use them right. The hop steps work, so it's like I got a combination of using quick drops off one. Once I'm in takeover, I'm dunking on people. My hop steps, even like layups, sometimes you see like I'm trying to get a quick drops off one, I just end up doing a layup. The only time I ever really have an issue is, like I said, if I got a center or a team that's just always sitting in the paint, yeah, that's gonna mess me up on offense, because most of my offense comes from being in the paint. But that's why, like I said, you click on the build in the description, you're gonna see that this build can now shoot. I made the same build, just brought down some of the attributes, and now you can shoot. Now you can be a spot up shooter. So now if you're playing with teammates that's sitting in the paint all the time, you just sit corner, they pass you the ball, you'll be able to knock those shots down. Or if you dribbling the ball and they just sagging off super far, you'll be able to knock down those shots, especially if you know how to time your shots, stuff like that. You got your hot spots. This build will be able to do it all, really. So like I said, I'm gonna say it again, click the link in the description, watch that video how to make that build, and I think this build's damn near perfect. It's really easy to play rec with, especially with randoms. You're a point guard, you get the ball most of the time, you get to bring the ball up, you can shoot now, you can play defense, and you know, it still depends on your stick skill playing on-ball defense, but if you're a good on-ball defender, now you clamping up the other team's point guard, and it's really like you have a huge impact on the game at those two positions, point guard and center, especially if you're really good on defense. Like, defense has a big impact. If you're able to shut down your matchup and then come down the court and score, most of the time you're gonna win. Like, I got like a damn near 70 win percentage playing rec. Now I do play some games with my friends, but it's like half of the games that I've played are with randoms, and running with randoms, I've been winning, like I said. So you take those three main tips that I gave you right there. Make a build at point guard that can score, play defense, pass the ball, get your teammates involved, or make a center that can grab boards, you know, just be really elite on defense and be able to spot up. Those two tips right there, and basically selecting your teammates. So when you're in that pregame lobby, in that locker room, check your teammates' stats, everything, make sure they're good. Make sure you know someone you want to run with, and most of the games you're winning. Like I said, my win percentage is like a damn near 70. It's like 67. I'll just be running with randoms. Alright y'all, but that's the end of the video. Thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.